You know that feeling when someone just vanishes? No explanation, no closure, just silence. And suddenly your brain turns into a crime scene investigator, replaying every text, every conversation, trying to figure out what you did wrong. You're lying there at 2 a.m., convinced you're fundamentally broken. Here's the truth nobody's telling you. Getting ghosted says almost nothing about you and everything about them, and I'm going to show you exactly how to flip the script in your head right now. We're going to break down why ghosting isn't the message you think it is, what it actually reveals about the other person, and how to reframe this entire experience so it stops eating you alive. Let's get into it. The default story your brain tells you. When someone ghosts you, your brain immediately writes a story, and it's always the same story. You weren't interesting enough. You weren't attractive enough. You said something stupid. You're too much or not enough. Your brain creates this entire narrative where you're the problem, and if you could just figure out what you did wrong, you could fix yourself and prevent this from happening again. This is mental quicksand. The more you struggle to find the flaw in yourself, the deeper you sink. You're scanning every interaction like you're studying for a test you already failed. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain hates uncertainty more than it hates bad news. So it creates a story that makes you the villain, because at least then, there's an explanation. At least then, the world makes sense. But here's the thing. That story is fiction. You're not a detective with enough evidence. You're a writer making things up to fill the silence. And the story you're writing is destroying your confidence for no reason. What ghosting actually reveals: ghosting isn't a statement about your value. It's a demonstration of someone's communication skills, or lack thereof. When someone ghosts you, they're showing you they don't know how to have uncomfortable conversations. They're showing you they prioritize their momentary discomfort over basic respect. They're showing you they handle conflict by running away. Think about it. Adults who have their emotional life together don't ghost. They send a simple text. Hey, I'm not feeling a connection. Good luck out there. Takes 20 seconds. The fact that someone can't do that isn't because you're unworthy of those 20 seconds. It's because they literally don't have the tools to do it. It's like blaming yourself because someone doesn't know how to swim. Their inability isn't your failure. You're watching someone fail at basic human interaction and deciding it must be because you're defective. That's like getting cut off in traffic and thinking, wow, I must be a terrible person, instead of, that driver's an asshole. You're assigning yourself blame for someone else's incompetence. The incompatibility versus inadequacy switch. Here's the reframe that changes everything. Every time your brain whispers you weren't good enough, you replace it with we weren't compatible. Not as punishment for your brain. Not as a coping mechanism. As the actual truth. Incompatibility isn't a flaw. It's just data. Some people don't like mushrooms. That doesn't mean mushrooms are objectively bad. It means those people and mushrooms aren't a match. When someone ghosts you, all it means is your communication styles, your maturity levels, or your relationship needs didn't align. That's it. That's the whole story. You wouldn't beat yourself up because someone prefers blondes and you're a brunette. You wouldn't lose sleep because someone wants to live in the mountains and you love the city. But somehow, when the incompatibility is less visible, you turn it into a referendum on your entire existence. Stop doing that. Try this today. Every time you catch yourself thinking I wasn't enough, physically say out loud, we weren't compatible. Hear yourself say it. Your brain needs to hear the alternative narrative spoken in your own voice. It sounds simple because it is simple, and it works because you're interrupting the loop. Why you're addicted to solving the ghost. You keep replaying the conversations because your brain thinks if you can just identify the exact moment it went wrong, you can prevent future pain. This is your brain trying to protect you. But it's protecting you the way an overprotective parent ruins a kid's social life. Too much, wrong approach. You didn't get ghosted because you texted too fast or too slow. You didn't get ghosted because you were too available or not available enough. You got ghosted because that person chose the coward's exit. And you can't prevent cowards from being cowards by being more perfect. You can be the most fascinating, attractive, emotionally intelligent person on the planet, and people will still ghost you. Because ghosting is about their threshold for discomfort, not your performance review. Here's what to do instead of replaying. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Write down every criticism your brain is throwing at you about why you got ghosted. Every single one. Then read the list and ask yourself, would I say this to my best friend if they got ghosted? You wouldn't. You'd tell them the other person's an idiot. Give yourself the same grace. This exercise shows you how cruel you're being to yourself over someone else's behavior. The immediate confidence restore. The reason ghosting destroys your confidence is because you're using one person's inability to communicate as evidence about your global worth. You're taking a sample size of one and building an entire identity around it. That's not insight. That's catastrophizing. Here's the countermove. List 3 people who didn't ghost you. Not people who love you unconditionally like your mom. People who respected you enough to be direct. Here are examples of people who showed respect. An ex who actually broke up with you to your face. A friend who told you they needed space. A date who texted that they weren't feeling it. Those people exist in your life. They prove that when people have basic emotional skills, they don't ghost you. Which means ghosting isn't about you being ghostable. It's about running into someone who ghosts. This isn't toxic positivity. This isn't pretending rejection doesn't hurt. This is refusing to let someone's communication failure become your identity. You don't have to like being ghosted. You don't have to feel fine about it. You just have to stop making it mean something it doesn't mean. The thought pattern is this: that sucked. That person handled it badly. I deserve better communication. Moving on. Not, that sucked. I must be fundamentally flawed. Let me investigate my entire personality. One of those paths leads to recovery. The other leads to obsession. The truth about closure. You think you need closure from them. You don't. You need closure from yourself. And that closure is deciding you're not going to let someone's silence speak for your value. That's it. That's the whole closure. Closure isn't an explanation from them about why they left. Closure is you deciding the story is over regardless. You're waiting for them to come back and validate you, to tell you it wasn't about you, to apologize. But even if they did, you wouldn't believe them, because you've already decided the problem is you. So stop waiting for external validation and give yourself internal permission to move forward. Today, right now, you can close this chapter. Not by understanding their reasons. By understanding that their reasons don't define you. Their exit was about their capacity, not your worth. You got ghosted by someone who ghosts. It's not a mystery. It's not a message. It's just what happened. Next time someone ghosts you, and there might be a next time because some people are like that, you'll know exactly what it means. Here's what it actually means. It means you just saved yourself months or years with someone who can't communicate. It means the trash took itself out. It means nothing about whether you're lovable, interesting, or worthy. Try this reframe once. Just once. And watch how fast the spiral stops.